All right, man. What you just seen was a skit of a black lady acting like a dog for dog food from a Brad. Okay. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the link in the description, join the Patreon. Um, you know, and some people say, "Oh, this is a joke," and you know, but when they make content with their black husbands, you know, black women, you know, what would be so funny about it? It's they black husband who's on the wrong side of the joke. Or as simple as doing a dance with your wife on TikTok is humiliating. I don't care what you say. That's a humiliation ritual in my opinion, right? But then again, this is what they do with them. You know, you can't even get them to make you a sandwich, but they'll sit there and act like a dog for Brad. And it's just, you know, one of the great things about the internet, you know, it's been bamboozled. Young black men have been told by the matriarchy of the black community that it was imperative for them to, you know, be with black women. And guess what? I don't have an issue with that. Every other community preached that, but what they told you know, their black daughters and nieces and cousins and shit was to get was to get a white man. And still became a single bitter baby mama. Still bitter at black men, not bitter at the white man who finessed them. Somehow it always comes up to be our fault. But this is what they'll do for them. And I'm gonna do another video where we talked about how an African lady was disgusted that African men didn't want black American men dating their women, but they okay with Brad. I'm gonna talk about that in another video, but it doesn't surprise me any. And I know I've been telling y'all this been the vibe. If you open your eyes and go through your memory bank, this has been them. This has been a lot of them to be there and be humiliated. And it's part of hypergamy. Everybody like to say, you know, for women, well, every woman can't be hypergamous. In they delusional mind, as long as they believe they can be hypergamous, they will. They see dating a white man as a step up. And I've shown this multiple times. I've showed it multiple times in multiple videos where they feel like this is a step in the right direction. You know, and it makes sense. Guess what? If the slave master told their husband what to do, you know, it makes sense that they would actually want to sleep with the slave master. They would ultimately want to. There ain't no laws, ever was no laws that I could think of that I know of that kept white men away from black women. But it was laws that kept black men away from white women. But you would sit there, act like a dog, wolf like a dog for some dog food. And y'all, it's a joke. It ain't no joke. Y'all would never joke like that with a black man. Y'all would never joke like that with a black man. Even if it was your idea, you wouldn't go through that humiliation. But then again, you have to have all these credentials to be with them as far as money, height, stature, you know, and all that type of shit to be with them, but they'll do this for them. That's what I was telling y'all. A lot of brothers been bamboozled. A lot of brothers have been bamboozled. That's why I say when I be talking dating with chicks, I ask them, man, you swim in the milk, you been with a white, and the majority answer since I've been answering that question, they have. They have. Ask them if they bunk cooter catters, and if they, you know, white men do it all the time, and they instantly disqualify a Becky if she has been with a black dude. They get up, not pay the bill, and leave the date. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. But here she is, roo for some dog food. And this is an older black woman. And this is what I say, man. And then they say all black men ain't shit because, you know, and I tell you where that come from, you know, because one, usually it's because they won't commit to them. And they never look at themselves and say, well, why don't men commit to me? They never say, what am I doing wrong? They never see anything they do wrong. Think about it, man. A lot of women can't even smell their own self when they stink. Think about that. I've heard stories where guys be like, yeah, I had to have a conversation. Guys are so loving, are the real lovers. They willing to work with your cooter cat or older. You know what I'm saying? They willing to work with the order to still claim you as their wife or claim them as their girlfriend or somebody they take serious. and work with you, even though if you don't feel like you got a smell. I remember I did a video, or it was a video going around of a woman who got a BBL, and a boyfriend was like, you stank, it stank since you got that BBL. And she was like, he was just jealous, so I broke up with him. And guess what? Somebody kept it a beam with her and say you stank. And now she feels stupid. You know, dudes will fight. That's why I say, man, be just as meticulous with these women, if not more, than they are with you. And then you'll be cool. All every little thing she turned up when she bring up other guy friends, and, she bring up how she may not like your shirt or your beard need to be pat, wish it was long. Once she start having these meticulous things, bro, about guys, she got to be, I done seen the ugliest bitches have the most meticulous. And I'm just looking like, bitch, do you look at you? You know what I'm saying? You see yourself? You should be lucky somebody say, hold the door and say hi and get the fuck out of here. And they must be broken. This false arrogance that they have, it must be broken. Every woman think they're a good woman. Every woman think they look good. Every woman think they don't do nothing wrong. Trust me, been there, done that. You will tell women, guys could transparently, voice their complaints about what needs to be fixed. Women, it falls on deaf ears. But she'll sit there eating dog food for bread. That's why I said, man, y'all be putting up, man, most of these women just pump and dump, if that, with the rubber. With the rubber. Most of women pump and dump with the rubber, bro. And that it ain't just about Brad. Think about this. What this woman won't do for you, she'll willingly do for a dude like Chris Brown. She'll willingly do for a dude that she really want to be with. If you got to fight, argue with women, bro, let her go. Over basic essentials. Over reciprocation. Over following directions. I tell dudes that all the time. Even if it was, when I was, just doing my thing, bitches gotta follow instructions, bro. As simple as, hey, don't you pop up to my house without asking first, or unless I invite you. You know what I'm saying? Like, your day, you can pop up. If I call you, you miss your window, well, shit, don't talk about, you have to be able to follow instructions. I don't do attitude. I don't do pushback. I don't do, go in the refrigerator without asking unless we cool like that. I don't do none of that. They got to be able to follow basic instructions, bro. That's a prerequisite. If I tell you to come on to the date and wear certain wear, that's what you got to come to the date, and you got to wear that certain wear. That's a non-negotiable. And I don't deal with women where I got to tell them, oh, this too provocative. Guess what? If I choose to procreate with that woman, I ain't got to have that issue with my daughter, because you already know what the standard is. She already know what the standard is. Y'all mean, son? So that's what I be telling y'all, man. A lot of y'all have these issues. And it really shouldn't even be an issue. Because if your standard is your standard, if you look at every woman like you just want to sleep with them, that's cool. Be prepared to strap up. But if you look at every woman like you want something special, you intentionally dating for a wife or something like that, these are non-negotiable. But on my rule of thumb, what she says she want to do for you, she gonna do for somebody else, or have done for somebody else. Hit the link in the description, join the Patreon.
So on today's episode of the Wild Watts of West Virginia, we have here straight tomfoolery. We have a black lady on here acting a straight fool for the white man. Girl, are you out your mind? Is this what your ancestors fought for? In the words of Iyanla, can you show this activity to Dorothy Dandridge and Harriet Tubman? Pop my butt, pop my butt. I need you to keep repeating that over and over again, because this is crazy.